Hello friends, welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to study the derivation of shear stress formula. So in the earlier lecture, we have cleared the concept of shear stress and the complementary shear stress. So very first, we should understand what is meant by the shear stress, their related concept and the theory. And also, we understood in the previous lecture that complementary shear stress is also. I hope you understood both of these concept of shear stress and complementary shear stress. Now, in the today's video lecture, we will have to derive the shear stress formula. This formula is very much important for solving of the problems related to the shear stresses. So let us have the derivation for the shear stress. Shear stress distribution in beams. So for the derivation, we have considered one beam which is simply supported at its ends, and there is a UDL is acting on the beam. So you can see in the figure there is a longitudinal cross section and there is a transverse cross section, that both of these cross sections with the dimensions are available. And for the derivation, we have considered one beam whose length is L, capital L is the length, and at the ends there are supports. So at one end there is a hinge support and at other end there is a roller support, means there is a simple supported beam is there, and there is a UDL. You can see on the top of the beam there is a UDL is acting. Okay, so now we will derive the shear stress equation or that shear stress formula, right? So from figure, consider a small portion of ABCD of a length dx. So from whole beam we have to consider only small section. Okay, so we have taken a section, there is a one section we have taken, that is a AB, and other section which is a dx distance apart. The distance between these two sections is dx. So these two sections are there on this particular beam, so we have considered for the derivation purpose. So for the derivation purpose, the two sections are required. So first section is AB and second section is CD, and the distance between two is dx, and the load is UDL. So there is a UDL throughout the beam is acting. As a beam is subjected to UDL, the shear force and bending moment vary at every point. So we know that because of the loads, because of the UDL, the shear force and bending moment, it changes or it is vary at every sections of the beam. Okay, so if you change the position or distance, the shear force and bending moment changes. Okay, the magnitude is changes. So therefore, the moment, bending moment at AB, we consider capital M, and bending moment at CD, because you know that the point to point, the bending moment will change, okay, throughout the beam because of the loading. We consider the bending moment at CD, other section M plus DM. Okay, so at AB we consider moment M, and at CD section we consider the moment M plus DM. Okay, let us say capital F is the shear force at AB. So let us consider the force again, shear force. So at AB we consider the shear force at AB capital F, and at CD we consider the shear force F plus DF. Okay, so let us say this F plus DF at the CD and only F is at the AB. Okay, so this is all about moment and the shear force at AB and CD section. Now capital I is the moment of inertia about neutral axis. Okay, so this capital I is the moment of inertia about neutral axis. Let us consider. Next, now consider, so again the figure is drawn here. This is the longitudinal section of the beam. Now consider a small strip at a distance of y from neutral axis. So in this particular beam you can see there is a small strip, small layer it is considered. You can see, are you able to see the screen? You can see here it is a small strip is considered. I hope you can see in the figure that strip JK. So there is a strip is there JK, which is the distance y from the neutral axis. So there is a neutral axis is there of this particular beam, and one strip is considered JK, which is a distance y from the neutral axis. Okay, so now sigma we know that sigma is the bending stress at y from neutral axis. So bending stress at that particular strip is sigma at a distance of y from the neutral axis. And consider small a cross-sectional area of the strip. So this JK strip whose cross-sectional area is considered as a small a. Okay. So therefore, we know that the flexural formula. So already we know that this flexural formula m upon I is equal to sigma upon y. So sigma bending stress is equal to m upon I into y. Only for the face AB. Okay. On face AB. So we have considered on the face AB, moment is m, force, shear force is F, and bending stress is also sigma on the AB. Similarly, on the face CD, you can see the other section CD. We consider that again same flexural formula is used, and sigma bending stress sigma plus sigma d now for the other section. Okay, so sigma plus sigma d is equal to, instead of m, at the CD section we consider m plus dm. We consider moment m at AB, and we consider the moment at CD m plus dm. Okay, so now you can put for the CD section, instead of m plus dm, I is same for both of the section, and y the distance from the neutral axis on the face CD. Now we know that the relation force is equal to stress into area. So this is the basic relation. Force is equal to stress into area. So now we can determine the force at section AB. It is called as FAB. So FAB is equal to m upon I into y. So this is the stress multiplied by area. So we are determining the force. Okay, stress is there. You can see here it is a stress. We determine m upon I into y, and area is considered as a. Okay, area of that cross section area of strip, it is small a. Similarly, force CD, force as CD, again stress into area, because we know that the basic relation force is equal to stress into area. So stress is for CD section m plus dm divided by I into y. So this is only stress. This is only stress, and small area, that is a cross section area of the strip, it is small a. Therefore, net balance force on a strip. Okay, so we have determined the shear force at section AB and at section CD. Okay, so the net unbalance, because these two shear forces are not equal, because there is a position is changed, their distance is dx between these two sections. That's why this is the unbalanced force, shear force. That's why. So we'll determine, we take the difference between these two. df is equal to FCD. df is equal to FCD minus FAB. So this is difference, because this is unbalance. Okay, this is unbalance, that both of these shear force not equal. That's why it is unbalance. FCD is equal to FAB. So you can take the difference. So we can put the shear force value here, m plus dm divided by I into y into a. Okay, so this is the total. Yes, wait. Yes, m plus dm divided by I into y into a, and shear force at AB we determined already, m upon I into y into a. So we can solve this particular relation, and what is remaining after solving this? I think m upon I minus m upon I will get cancelled, and remainings are dm divided by I into ay. So this relation will get after solving this. So total unbalanced force. So this particular unbalanced force is only for that particular strip. So now we have to determine the shear force for whole section, whole beam section. Okay. So now unbalanced force F above the neutral axis. So now we can determine total unbalanced force. This is only force for only strip. So now what is the total unbalanced force above the neutral axis? Now you can take the integration. If you take the integration, you can determine the total. Okay, so we can find the total force capital F. Take the integration 0 to, because you know that above the neutral axis up to the top fiber there is a distance is d by 2. Okay, above the neutral axis or below the neutral axis, from the center it is d by 2. So we can take the distance from neutral axis 0 to d by 2. So you can take the integration 0 to d by 2 and use that dm divided by I into ay with respect to dy. Okay, so now constant we can take outside, dm divided by I, take the integration 0 d by 2 ay. So after integration, this total term will get capital A, because small a is used for only for the strip cross-sectional area, and capital is for the total, okay, above the neutral axis, and y bar. So after integration, y becomes y bar. So here a y bar is the first moment of area. So already in the first lecture we gone through the first moment of area, second moment of area. Okay, so in that case we have determined the first moment of area is area multiplied by y bar. Okay, so that y bar is the distance of centroid of that area from the neutral axis. So this is the distance of the centroid from the neutral axis. Shear stress tau is the total force divided by cross-sectional area. So now we can determine the shear stress. So there is a formula for shear stress, total force divided by area. So we determine total force right now, dm divided by I into ay, and total cross-sectional area dx into b, dx into b. So we are just considering the shear stress over that particular sections. Okay, so the distance between this section is dx and width of the beam is small b, you can see, because area, how to determine the area? Length into breadth, cross section area. So for the strip, so length is dx and width is b. So we can put into this particular formula, you can solve it, we'll get dm divided by dx into ay bar divided by ib. Okay, so now again you just remember one of the relation we have studied in the bending moment and shear force unit number 2, that rate of the change of bending moment is equal to. So in that we have considered one of the slides, rate of change of bending moment, it gives the shear force, and rate of change of shear force, it gives the load, it gives the loading. So now here it is this relation, what we can put on this relation, dm divided by dx means this is the rate of change of bending moment, dm divided by dx. So instead of that we can put force. Okay, rate of change of bending moment gives the force. So directly you can put force here, remaining as it is ay bar divided by ib. So now we formulated the equation tau is equal to f a y bar divided by ib, and dm upon dx is equal to force. This force is shear force, where f is, capital F is shear force at the section under consideration, and capital A is the area above or below the layer under consideration. Area, capital area is the area above or below the layer. Distance y bar, distance of centroid area, centroid of area under consideration from neutral axis. Okay, distance from the neutral axis of that area consideration. And small b is the width, I is the moment of inertia of the section at x axis. So I is the moment of inertia, b is the width. Okay, so these are the terminologies for this particular formula. So I hope you understand this shear stress formula and their terms and their terminologies. Thank you very much.